Good, welcome back to part 2. Now, let's come a story. However, the player was not moving at all. I figured he was away for a few minutes, so I just messed around with the... And then it began when I went into the green and white house north of the map. I started to stand still for a few moments, shooting a mannequin, when I heard the noise player make when injured. I had thought it was from the mannequin at first. I knew I was being silly. I figured it was of the other player, who might have just jumped off the ledge looking for me. I went back to where I last saw the player, and he was still standing in exactly the same spot. I started to grow a bit frightened, and what made matters worse is that I'm in the house. Then I decided to go back to shooting the mannequin from the last time. So I ran back to the green and white house. After a few minutes emptying round into it, I heard a grunt. I was started to feature in real life. Then I decided to leave the house and just started to run laps around the map. Then I saw I was actually the same mannequin that I was shooting at earlier. However, this time it was not inside the green and white house. It was standing in the opposite house and across the map. I figured it was just a copy of the mannequin and ran back to the check. However, the mannequin's green and white house was no longer there. I told myself this would be perhaps a little Easter egg where the mannequin would switch location. However, the only mannequin that moved was the one I had made noises as I was been injured. I injured and continued to run around. I grew bored and frightened, so I went to find the player and noticed they had moved to different spots. He probably got back to and then had to leave because the player made no sign that he was playing. So then as I turned around, I saw the mannequin standing right in front of me. I began to shoot it, and I heard the grunting noise, the same one as before. I ran out of the house and decided to hang around to switch sets on the other side of the map. When I got there, I saw the same mannequin once again and started getting terrified, and just with the remaining animation I had. I heard the same grunt, and this time I saw a blood spray from the mannequin. I thought it was just my imagination. I ran from the mannequin and I turned and looked back, and I saw that mannequin swiftly towards a cupboard that led to the kitchen on the south side of the map. I believe I lied to myself saying that is what just like other player, but later I found the player I had last seen. Now I knew that was the mannequin and began to walk. Switched across the map. Instead of finding the mannequin, it found me. It was walking safely towards me. I immediately began to run away. However, I managed to move about 5 steps until the Xbox controller seemed to have stopped working. I had nothing to do but to stare at the TV, watching the mannequin walk towards me, making grunts and moans as if they were Nancy Zombie. The mannequin finally got close enough to the player, and it stood still. It stared at me with blank white eyes. I felt like crying. I had no option but turn off the TV. However, it was a flat screen, and it only turned off when the use of the remote. I looked up for the remote and never found it. I couldn't unplug it because it was stuck to the wall. I then tried to turn off the Xbox. I pressed the power button, but it didn't do nothing. It didn't pull the plug because I didn't want to have to get my friend a new Xbox. So I sat down and stared back up to the mannequin, staring in the pale face with no expression at all. It may have got some mind again, but it wasn't working. Then after about 10 minutes of staring at the mannequin face, it began to move. It moved closer and closer up to the point where its face covered the entire TV screen. And then it roared. It sounded like a human screaming in pain, and if he was terribly injured. The mannequin moved back, then it walked towards me once more. Once it made contact with me, the entire TV displaying nothing but static. The volume began to grow louder, and the Xbox turned off as soon as the TV began to display static. I got terrified and ran out of the house to wait for my friend outside. After about 10 minutes of waiting, he finally showed up. I explained to him what I had been through. He did not believe a word I said. He said it was being silly. We went inside the house again and found the remote turned down the volume. Then my friend turned Xbox on. He wanted to see the mannequin for himself. The Xbox turned user and started to play the game. He started to play online, and after 3 hours he finally gave up. I asked him where he got the game, and he said his parents had bought him along with the Xbox from a woman who claimed something was wrong with it. So my friend's parents bought it from $50. We asked them where they bought the Xbox, and they gave us the address. Me and my friend wanted to see the woman, but the address we were given only led to us at home. That was for sale. We both looked at each other, and without a word we walked home. After this encounter, I never dared to play the Nuketown map. Thank you for taking the time to read my thoughts and experience. You do not have to believe this is true or not. I'm really reading what I've seen. So that was actually part 2. I hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. Leave a like, a comment, and subscribe what you think about this quick faster. And yeah, so guys, bye.